So today we're going to focus on things that we have around the house. One of the things that we have around the house. And there's a whole new wave going on making murals out of tape. Nothing but tape. It's drawing with tape. It's filling in with tape or coloring with tape, different colored tape, because as maybe you know, maybe you don't, there are a lot of different kinds of tape out there. And duct tape is coming in all different colors now. They're actually making tape for art anymore. But I have some tape that I just happen to have around the house that we're going to use. And since we're all home, that's what we're kind of focusing on. And I want us to think about doing something more simplistic. If you want to get elaborate with this, of course, what I give you is the kind of the bare bones, and then after that you can figure out how to make that work within your own art. And maybe you want to fill in an entire picture, but today I'm going to show you how to draw. I do want to show you some examples of some of these murals or drawings that are being done using tape, and a lot of times they'll put it on a side of a wall. So this kind of falls into play with graffiti, or actually I don't like the word graffiti, but street art, and kind of beautifying without having it be permanent. It doesn't have to be permanent. Tape comes off really easily. You could even do this, and I know some parents are maybe going to get upset at me, but you could do it on your bedroom door. You could do a whole mural, and I would love to see if you could do it on your bedroom door, some kind of a mural. But here is something that was on the side of a wall at a school. Here is another example of something on the side of the wall. And this person did it actually in their apartment. I was reading in their little blog or what have you. And then this is done by a group who, this is what they specialize in, is tape art. And it's called Tape Over. And I have a really good video, quick video that I'll attach to this that you can see of the work that they're doing. And it's a German group out of Berlin, actually, and they have some really nice quick videos where you just watch them work. And the one I'm going to show you is they do some hummingbirds, which are absolutely beautiful, and the group is called Tape Over. There are actually some pretty interesting videos out there, I think, that are all well, I can't say all, but that are appropriate for children. You'll notice with this one, excuse me, in particular with these birds, that they do a combination of things. And in this one, they are filling in as well with different colored pieces of tape, and doing the lines with different pieces of tape and using different colors. Typically, the black that they use is electrical tape. And I don't have any electrical tape at the house, actually, so I can't show you that. But it's a thin tape, about, I don't know, about like this width, but it's black, and that's where they are getting their black, and it's shiny, and it protects electrical wires. Some of you maybe have it around the house, and you can use that. What we're going to use today is, well, you have a choice of whatever kind of tape that you have around the house. The only thing you can't use is clear tape, cellophane tape, because obviously it's clear, so we won't be able to see it. I have some blue tape, painter's tape, and it comes green too. Mine happens to be blue. This works really well. Just plain old masking tape works really well too. And I have it in a number of different sizes, but maybe you want to use whatever works best for you. And also another one that's very popular and is easy for little fingers to work with is washi tape. And washi tape is a Japanese tape that is actually, it's very lightweight, and it's made out of paper. It's just a lightweight paper that sticks on the top, and it's easy to tear, which we like the tears. We don't want it square. If you want, and this again, this comes down to personal taste and personal style in art. You can cut your tape if you want to cut your tape. Personally, I like my nice, I like those edges when you just kind of rip it and take to rip it, you're going to want to take your two fingers, your pinky, or excuse me, your pointer finger and your thumb, and when you pull with in one direction, with one hand, and with the other hand, you pull in the other direction, and you can make some strips of tape that way. And this blue tape works really well because it's fairly lightweight, but it's got enough of a stick. So since I have this, I'm just going to put this off to the side and keep it for when I need it next time. Okay, when you're done today, I've got some examples of things that you might like. Here is an owl that I did using my tape. Now I think I would go back, I'm looking at this, I'm going to go back and I'm going to add just some little pieces of tape that look like those little chest feathers that they have. Push it down a little bit, and all it needs is a couple of, and I kind of like the 3, and if you want, because as I've already told you guys many times in class, then we always use, as artists, we use odd numbers. Now this one is getting a little tricky because it's so thin. So I am going to take my scissor and help it along a little bit. And you can do that. And then it'll tear better for me. And I want to put this in my, along my wing here. Just adding some details. And maybe a couple more. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I personally like the imperfections. Again, this is kind of hard to, for some reason. I'm just going to start it with my scissor. Got more strips. So there I've got, that's probably good right there. Okay. To begin, you want to draw with your pencil, just kind of come up with a plan. Now I've got some old paper that I was thinking about I would throw away, and I'm going to draw. This is not the paper that I'm going to use for my tape or for my final. This is just my idea page and what I'm thinking I might want to do. You can do it real size or the same size as you would put on your paper, or you can just do a kind of a quick little drawing and see how it works out. We don't want really, if you want to, you can use pencil and go over your pencil with your tape. I personally think it's kind of nice because tape is temporary anyways. It's not something that was going to not be able to come up, or you won't be able to erase it or anything like that. I personally think it's nice for you just to start with tape and figure out what works, where the best place to start for whatever it is that you're going to be doing. I personally like animals and drawing the animals, and I'm going to do, I don't know why, but I've decided I kind of like the idea of, I'm going to use a darker pencil, of an octopus. And he's got, oops, oh golly, that's not going to work, is it? Where's my eraser here? And of course you can go off the paper, or you can have it kind of overlap if you want it to overlap. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And he needs, let's give him an eyes. And we're good to go. So you keep it simple. especially for the first one if you decide you want to do more than one, but keep it simple. So I've got my octopus. I'm going to plan. I'm going to put that up here for me to follow. And the logical place for me to start on this is my head because it's an oval. And I am just going to take my tape, and I've got a nice long strip there, and I'm just bending it. And that's the other thing that kind of looks, makes it look more interesting, is the imperfections. And I'm going to take this, holding down one end and pushing with my other hand, the other end. And now I'm done with this little, I've used 2 pieces of tape. I'm done with that. I'm gonna, there, okay. And while I'm thinking of it, actually I'm not gonna do my, I was gonna say I'm gonna do my eyes, but I'm not gonna do my eyes. So I'm gonna keep going on this. Start that. And for those of you who are a little younger, or maybe you didn't think about this, I am not going to be just putting up one line of tape for my octopus leg, because I need space to put the tentacles. So I am going to bring this back around, started it, bring it back around, and I would maybe have that a little skinnier, but I'm bringing that back around here. So I now have, oh, and look, I finished that up pretty nicely. So I can now take and do a little tiny square inside for, and yes, I'm going to use my scissor, for some tentacles. Come on. I got the tape side the opposite direction. So I'm going to keep adding those for tentacles. That's too big, but you get the idea. And then once I've got, I'm not going to do all 8 legs because you don't want to see watch me do all 8 legs. You guys get the idea, I'm sure. Now for my head, to accomplish having eyes, I can just take my tape and build eyes if I want to do that. But I'm going to show you a way to leave the eyes as negative space. So negative space is when whatever is behind something, or whatever is left, what's the best way I can put this? Negative space is whatever is behind whatever solid, okay? I think that's the best way to do it. So what I want to do is I want to leave my, I'm going to build my eyes by leaving that circle behind, okay? That is my negative space. And I'm going to do another eye in here. So to make it completely negative space, I then want to, so I've built another eye here. I'm going to take and give my octopus some texture using my tape. And I'm going to fill in or draw, I'm going to fill in his head with just some strips. And what makes that a positive space, which is the opposite of negative space, is that I have filled it in with color or tape or whatever it might be. So another way of doing that also is, once you've got this whole outline done. Okay, so here's my owl. You can then color it in using color crayon. This one happens to be done in oil pastel. And you'll notice that I've taken away and removed my tape, leaving behind the outline of the negative space in my owl. Now, a better way too of doing this is I think I might add, and I have some oil pastels unless you want to use crayon, I think I might add some trees in the background. And maybe a branch that he's sitting on while the tape is still on. So I'd come around here, and now that I've taken my tape off, so you can do that as well, and then it looks like you can see that background of the owl. I'm going to add, let's see, I started more branches here. I'm just going to say that these look like branches. So we're going to build some branches, and we can put some leaves over the top. And then it'll look like when we remove this tape, it'll really look like he's sitting somewhere. I don't know, I think now that this is off, I think I would leave that eye and the beak on there in blue tape, but you can do whatever you want to do. I've got an elephant here that I made him kind of striped, and you can play with it however you want to play with it. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what you do with tape. You can fill it in with tape. You can just I would start with the tracing of the outline of the drawing and go from there. But you can definitely do all sorts of things with tape. And I'm excited to see what you do. I'm not sure what we're going to do the next time we meet, but I suspect that it's going to be something with paper that you find around your house. But I may change, actually I think I'm going to do that, and we'll kind of work on what we can do with paper after this time around. So I'm looking forward to seeing your tape projects, and email me if you have any questions or comments. If you have any questions, I'm looking forward to seeing what you have to say about all of this, and I hope you're happy, healthy, and safe. Take care.